Hello, dear house owners. This is Susanne and Merlin,
Merlin.
and this is our host, Coco, Mr. Coco. As you can see, he's very chilled. He's hosting us in the moment in Western Australia. Second time we are here, so he obviously loves us, and the owners probably like us as well. And he's the most gorgeous cat we ever look after. He's very chilled. He's very chilled.
He's so amazing.
Yeah, and we thought we are going to give you a little bit an introduction about us, so you understand us as your house sitters, and if you feel like we are the right match, then you know a little bit more about us. So where do we start here? Until last year, we were part-time house sitters, weren't we? Yeah, part-time. Like we went back to Germany and England, and then we went back house sitting around Europe, and we went to Thailand and Australia and other countries. And then we decided it's enough. We don't want to go back forward all the time. So we decided to get full-time house sitters. So since November, we are full-time house sitters.
Yeah.
On the go, traveling the world. And as you can see, we are not 20 plus, we are 50 plus. And we see house sitting maybe a little bit different than other people do, because for us the most important thing is that the animals,
these little ones,
have the best time ever. And I used to say they have holiday from their owners, but don't tell their owners that they have holidays. Yeah, we love to look after cats, as you see. Obviously they love us as well. And he's very chilled. Oh, yes, look at that. Oh, yes, this is his favorite spot. I mean, I like this as well. Yes, this is me. And we look after dogs, and I as well can look after horses.
He says he's going to charge for video.
He's charging for video now, yes. I mean, he's really like he's really
very photogenic,
beauty. He's photogenic, right? We look after chooks. We don't like reptiles so much, do we? I mean, I love rabbits, but I don't like to feed animals to animals, which I don't really like.
No, I don't think we fancy a snake or...
No, not so much, no. We don't mind having a farm sit, because I'm familiar with chicken and horses and watering plants and stuff.
You've done sheep and cows as well.
I have done sheep and cows, especially here in Australia. I was even horse riding the horses, which I really love.
I think he wants to
what?
Say goodbye for now.
He wants to say goodbye for now, okay.
Okay, so...
we have to, yes, bye-bye. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely having that fun.
I love to look after gardens, because we are both vegetarians. And we love fresh veggies and fruits and stuff. So if you have a garden, we look after it and take care that the weeds not taking over and the plants are watered well and sufficiently, not only a little bit, no, a little bit more, because especially in summer like here, they need a lot of water. We do garden work like here as well. You know, we did mowing the lawn and looking after the water systems and stuff. Pool maintenance, of course, is part of our job. There's a pool here right next to us. We are familiar with looking after pools and checking the levels of chemicals.
Yeah, the chemical composition and so on. I think to put it in a nutshell, we take the taking care of the animals on the house as if it was our own. And I think that's the important aspect here. It's we deeply are committed and take care in what we do, because it is now our lifestyle. Although I think it's important to add that we don't need to house sit financially.
No.
It's more of a way of us actually seeing the world and
having nice animals
having
around,
beautiful animals around, because we don't have our own now. And just actually being a little part of the community. House sitting for us is not, it's a bit different to being a regular tourist. It's more about being in the community and getting to know people in the local area and getting a real feel about what it's like to be in that space and that place.
Yeah, and as we work both online, we can spend a lot of time with the animals, which we prefer anyway, because we don't go out for parties. We might go out for a nice meal or maybe for sport, which we like to do, like swimming or gymnastics or hiking or yoga. We do yoga and stuff like that. But this is maybe 1 or 2 hours a day when we go out, and most of the time we are in anyway. We cook for ourselves. We like it neat and tidy. We have to be honest. We don't like houses where we have to clean 2 days before we can move in.
Which we've had before.
We had this, unfortunately, before.
And what we also learn is that one person's standard of cleanliness can be different to someone else's.
Yeah.
So I guess to kind of paint a little bit of a picture, it would be, obviously, surfaces cleared and hoovered and stuff like that, but it's also that the fridge is clean.
And emptied, because
and
when there's a lot of stuff in there, where should we put our food?
Because of course we don't eat anything from the owners. We always buy our own unless we've got specific permission to do so. And so it's like also making sure that other equipment like dishwashers and washing machines and stuff like that,
are clean.
Yeah. We had one house sit where we had to boil wash the washing machine 3 times to actually get it clean enough for us to be able to put our own clothing in there. So
because I didn't separate animal cushions and pillows and stuff with humans, and the whole washing machine was totally filthy and dirty, and you couldn't wash anything in there until you got it out and it was dirty. So this is what we understand what cleanliness should be, right?
Yeah. And so I think for us, it's if that's our expectation, then you can expect for you to get your house back in a really good way as well. We're in the process now of finishing off a house sit as we record this video here in Western Australia, and we have spent several days now because it's been a long house sit. We've been here for 10 weeks. Making sure that everything is really, really clean and tidy, and the way that we were given it, because it was really lovely and clean. It was
very lovely and clean, yeah. And even that, we cleaned the windows and we did things that they probably might not expect. But we think after being here for such a long time, it's just fair enough to give them a very clean house back so they can just move in and feel at home right away.
Because that would be the sort of thing we would do in our own home.
Yeah. Well, maybe if you never had house sitters before, it's for you important to understand as well when you have house sitters in your home. Like we, as full-time house sitters, we come with quite a lot of luggage. Even though it's sometimes difficult to get all the right airline for that, but we come with luggage as full-time travelers, so we need space in the wardrobe. And very often we have the situation that we don't know where to put our clothing.
And no coat hangers.
And no coat hangers, and no space anywhere. And you can't put stuff in the suitcase all the time if you're staying, especially for a longer period of time. And we love to house sit for longer periods of time. We are not such big movers. We don't want to move from 1 week to the other. So we are actually looking for house sits that are minimum 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks minimum. Yeah. The longer the better, because as well for the owners, it's easier. They have one person to communicate, and for the animal, it's easier to adapt to one couple that's in there, and then they feel at home with them. So we are looking for longer house sits, depending on our visa situation and travel plans. On the other hand, we are not people that like to stay inside of a big city. If we are close to a city and there's public transport, that's fine. We might take the bus or the tram to go for shopping. But if there is nothing connected in walking distance for us, we really would appreciate to have a car. And we need to go shopping. We want to go for our sports and in the gym, or maybe to a pool. We both like lap swimming. And as you can imagine, of course we could rent a car. But the situation with rent-a-cars is very often that if we have to transport animals in there, for example, there's an emergency, we have to go to a pet hospital, we have a problem giving the car back because there's animal hair inside. And I tell you, we had that before, and they charged us a hell lot of money extra because there were tiny little hairs, which we didn't even see because we cleaned the car perfectly before we gave it back. But then they're making extra money. So therefore, we are really, it's very helpful for us if you could give us one of your cars. It doesn't matter what car it is. We don't care if it's old or whatever, as long as it's working and not...
We've had situations where we've had one where it wasn't working. We were grateful to have a car, but then...
Yeah, it was not working at all.
We had a few issues. But
it was 30 years old and it was not an old timer, if you understand what I mean.
I think the other thing to understand is in a lot of the areas that we house it, and it's the same here in Australia, is that sometimes there can be emergency situations. So like there are obviously fire situations where we have evacuation
or hurricane or whatever.
Evacuation kind of procedures that we have to go through, and that to have access to a car to be able to go, right, let's get the animals in the car and then we go to wherever we're meant to evacuate to, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
That it's another reason why it's important for us to have transport.
Yeah, we both are very experienced driver. I never had an accident. You never had an accident either, and we both capable of driving on both sides of the street. We have international driving licenses, and we sign a paper if you want us to sign a paper for that.
Yeah, I actually have an agreement that helps to cover the owners.
Absolutely. So this is a little bit about us, and I'm pretty sure there's many questions you would like to have answered. This is only for introduction, a short introduction to give you an impression about us, who we are and what we do. And feel free to reach out to us and have a first meet and greet online, usually.
It's just so important actually to have that initial contact on a call. I mean, I have a professional Zoom account, so I'm more than happy to do Zoom, but we can do whatever media that is suitable for
I use
house
Teams.
owners.
Yeah, I use Teams
so
for business.
We're very used to that, being digital nomads, so we're perfectly okay to use all of that technology. But having that initial contact is really important, because you just get a real feel for us in person and can ask those questions that perhaps you may have in relation to your animals. I mean, a couple of other things that we did mention, we're used to giving medication and to animals, and
special treatment if it's needed.
We're very kind of connected to the animals, and if it's not a normal behaviour as described by a house owner,
immediately we get response. We give feedback anyway, so if you want to have like a weekly update, we send you pictures, or we can have a video call or whatever you need to feel happy. We didn't mention that we are both non-smokers and non-drinkers, so no alcohol, no smoking from our side. We don't eat meat, we don't eat fish. So this is what you get when you are...
I know, we're totally boring, aren't we?
Yeah, but we're boring. We are not. Okay, it was nice to talk to you and see you in an online call.
Indeed.
Somewhere in this world, probably face to face. Bye-bye.
Bye.